The African sun has long since dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a sky stained with the fading embers of twilight. Now, a profound darkness blankets the vast savanna. This is not an empty darkness, but one that is alive, teeming with secrets and unseen movements. The air, once shimmering with heat, has cooled, carrying on its gentle currents the scents of dry grass, distant rain, and the unmistakable aroma of life and death intertwined. It is a world transformed, where the rules of the day no longer apply. Here, under the silent, watchful gaze of a billion stars, a different drama is about to unfold. The night is a symphony of sounds, a complex orchestra playing the score of survival. The gentle chirping of crickets forms the constant rhythmic backdrop. But against this, other, more menacing sounds emerge. A distant lion's roar rolls across the plains, a powerful declaration of territory and intent that sends a tremor of unease through the landscape. The sharp, high-pitched call of a nightjar cuts through the air. And then there is the sound that truly defines the African night, the whooping, giggling calls of the spotted hyena clan, a sound that is part laughter, part lament, echoing through the darkness. For most of the savanna's inhabitants, the night is a time for caution. The herbivores, like the zebra and the wildebeest, huddle together in their herds, their ears twitching at every unfamiliar noise, their eyes straining to pierce the gloom. They know that the shadows are not their friends. The cover of darkness provides the perfect camouflage for the hunters. Predators, their senses sharpened by the night, are on the patrol. Every rustle in the grass, every snapped twig could signal the explosive start of a chase, a life-or-death struggle played out in fleeting, terrifying moments. Here, visibility is a luxury that few can afford. The moon, a slender sliver in the inky sky, offers little in the way of illumination. Animals must rely on their other senses, a finely tuned sense of hearing to detect the faintest footfall, a powerful sense of smell to catch the scent of a predator on the wind, and an innate, primal instinct that screams of danger. The night is a time of heightened vulnerability, a long, tense vigil where the line between life and death is drawn with a razor-thin edge. It is in this world of deep shadows and ever-present peril that our story begins. High in the branches of a solitary acacia tree, a troop of baboons is settled for the night. They are a tight-knit family, seeking safety in numbers and in the elevation of their thorny fortress. For most, sleep comes fitfully, a light slumber from which they can be easily roused. But for one individual, a young male named Kale, sleep offers no respite. He sits apart from the others, a solitary figure silhouetted against the faint starlight. His stomach is a hollow ache, a gnawing emptiness that has plagued him for days. The dry season has been long and harsh, and food has become dangerously scarce. Kyle is young and not yet high in the troop's strict hierarchy. This means he is often last to eat, forced to make do with the meager leftovers after the dominant males and females have had their fill. He has watched them feast on the few ripe fruits and juicy insects, while he has been left with dry roots and tough, unappetizing leaves. His hunger is more than just discomfort. It is a profound desperation, a primal fear that gnaws at his spirit as much as it does his belly. He can feel his strength waning, and he knows that a weak baboon is a vulnerable baboon, an easy target for the many dangers of the savannah. As he sits and watches the world below, a strange and daring idea begins to form in his mind. He has observed the hyena clan from a distance. He has seen them return to their den, their bellies full, carrying scraps of meat back to their young. The scent of their kills has often drifted up to the baboon's roost, a tantalizing aroma of sustenance that now seems to mock his own starvation. Curiosity, born of this profound desperation, begins to overpower his natural caution. He wonders what lies within their den, this fortress of the savannah's most successful hunters. The decision is made in a moment of quiet resolve. To stay here means to slowly weaken, to fade away. The risk of remaining in the relative safety of the troop has become, in his mind, greater than the risk of venturing out alone. It is a terrible choice, a gamble against incredible odds, but one he feels he must take. With a final lingering look at his sleeping family, Kale begins his silent descent from the tree. He moves with a stealth he did not know he possessed, his feet finding sure holds on the rough bark. His heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He is now alone in the great dark wilderness. The Hyena Den is a sprawling subterranean network of tunnels and chambers dug into the side of a large termite mound. For generations, this has been the heart of the clan's territory, a sanctuary and a nursery. The air around the den is thick with the clan's unique, musky scent, a powerful olfactory signal that marks this place as their own. Scattered around the entrance are the telltale signs of their presence, the bleached white of old bones, remnants of past feasts, and the well-worn paths leading out into their hunting grounds. To any intruder, the message is clear and unambiguous. This is a place of power, the stronghold of formidable predators. The Spotted Hyena clan is a matriarchal society ruled by a powerful alpha female. She's larger and more aggressive than the males, and it is she who leads the hunts and makes the critical decisions for the group. The bonds within the clan are incredibly strong, forged through complex social interactions and a shared investment in the survival of the next generation. They are not the mindless scavengers of myth. They are intelligent, coordinated hunters, capable of bringing down prey much larger than themselves. Their strength lies in their numbers and their unwavering cooperation. An attack on one is an attack on all. Tonight, the den is a place of relative peace. The clan's dominant hunters are out on the plains, their whooping calls fading into the distance as they search for their next meal. Left behind are a few lower-ranking adults and, most importantly, the mothers and their young pups. The mothers are fiercely protective, their maternal instincts honed to a razor's edge. They remain close to the den's entrance, their ears constantly swiveling, alert to the slightest hint of danger. Their primary duty is to guard the clan's most precious asset, the cubs, who are still too young and vulnerable to survive on their own. The pups themselves are small, dark bundles of energy, born with their eyes open and their teeth already emerging. They are the future of the clan, and their well-being is paramount. Inside the cool, dark earth of the den, they tumble and play, blissfully unaware of the dangers that lurk just beyond their sanctuary. Their mother's presence is a constant, reassuring warmth. Any threat to these pups will be met not with hesitation, but with an explosion of coordinated, ferocious violence. This is the fortress that Kale the Baboon, driven by hunger and desperation, is now approaching. Kale approaches the hyena den with a caution that borders on paralysis. Every nerve in his body screams at him to turn back, to flee to the relative safety of the trees. The scent of the hyenas is overpowering now, a thick, primal smell that clogs his nostrils and makes his fur stand on end. He can hear the soft sounds from within the den, the gentle shuffling of the mothers, the faint, sleepy whimpers of the pups. He moves in a low crouch, staying close to the ground, using every patch of shadow and every clump of tall grass as cover. His progress is agonizingly slow, measured in inches rather than feet. He freezes behind a small bush near the den's entrance, his heart hammering against his chest. He can see them now. Two large female hyenas are standing guard, their powerful silhouettes framed against the starlit sky. They seem relaxed, but Kyle knows this is a deceptive calm. Their heads are up, their ears are constantly moving, scanning the night for any sign of trouble. He watches them for what feels like an eternity, studying their movements, waiting for a lapse in their concentration, a brief moment of distraction that might grant him the opening he so desperately needs. The opportunity comes unexpectedly. A faint sound, perhaps the cry of a distressed antelope far off in the distance, drifts on the wind. Both sentinels turn their heads in unison towards the sound, their bodies tensing, their full attention momentarily diverted It is a fleeting window, lasting only a few seconds, but it is enough. In that instant, Kyle makes his move. He darts from his hiding place, a silent grey blur moving with astonishing speed. He does not run towards the main entrance, but to a smaller secondary opening he had spotted, partially obscured by roots and rocks. Slipping into the narrow tunnel is like entering another world. The air inside is cool and thick with the smell of damp earth and the warm animal scent of the hyena family. The darkness is absolute, a complete blackness that his eyes struggle to penetrate. He is now inside the belly of the beast, a trespasser in one of the most dangerous places on the savannah. He can hear the soft, rhythmic breathing of the sleeping pups just ahead. His own breathing is shallow and rapid, each gasp a loud betrayal in the suffocating silence of the burrow. Every instinct tells him this is madness, yet the gnawing hunger propels him forward. Deep within the earthen chamber, Kyle pauses, allowing his eyes to adjust to the profound darkness. Slowly, shapes begin to resolve themselves from the blackness. He can just make out the forms of several small pups, huddled together in a heap for warmth. They are so small, so utterly vulnerable. A flicker of something other than hunger passes through him, a momentary recognition of their innocence. But the sharp pang in his belly is a brutal and immediate reminder of his purpose. He cannot afford sentiment. Survival is a selfish, singular focus in this harsh world. He must act quickly, before his courage fails him or his presence is discovered. He inches forward, his padded feet making no sound, on the soft, sandy floor of the den. He can feel the warmth radiating from the pile of sleeping pups. He extends a hesitant hand, his long fingers trembling slightly. Which one? The choice is arbitrary, a random selection in a desperate lottery. His fingers brush against the coarse, dark fur of a pup near the edge of the pile. The pup stirs slightly in its sleep, letting out a soft, contented sigh. Kyle's heart leaps into his throat. He freezes, every muscle in his body rigid, waiting for the alarm to be raised. But the den remains silent. With a final surge of desperate resolve, Kyle acts. His movements are now swift and decisive. He gently but firmly closes his hand around the pup's small, warm body. The pup is surprisingly heavy, a dense bundle of bone and nascent muscle. He lifts it carefully, cradling it against his own chest. For a single, terrifying heartbeat, the world seems to stand still. The pup is now in his possession. He has committed the ultimate transgression, stealing the future of the clan from right under their noses. The silence in the den feels heavy, profound, like the calm before a storm. Now the truly difficult part begins, the escape. He must retreat the way he came, backing out of the narrow tunnel without making a sound. He moves backwards, one slow, deliberate step at a time, the stolen pup held tightly against him. The pup remains quiet, perhaps still dazed from sleep, or perhaps sensing the tension in the body that holds it. Kyle can feel the pup's tiny heart beating against his own, a rapid, frantic rhythm that mirrors his own terror. He is almost at the tunnel entrance, almost back in the open air. He dares to hope for just a moment that he might actually succeed. Kyle emerges from the den's side entrance, blinking as his eyes readjust to the starlight. He is back in the open, but he is far from safe. The pup, cradled in his arm, is beginning to stir more purposefully now. It is no longer sleepy and content. It is confused and frightened by the unfamiliar scent of the baboon and the strange, jolting movements. It begins to wriggle, its small body squirming in Kyle's grasp. Kyle tries to hold it tighter, to soothe it with a low, guttural sound, but it is no use. The pup is a creature of instinct, and its instincts are screaming that something is terribly wrong. And then it happens. The pup opens its mouth and lets out a cry. It is not a loud sound, more of a high-pitched, plaintive whimper. But in the stillness of the night, amplified by the focused senses of the hyena mothers, it is as loud as a thunderclap. It is a sound of distress, a call for help that is instantly recognizable to every member of the clan. For a split second, there is a shocked silence. Kyle freezes, the pup's cry echoing in his own ears, a death knell for his desperate plan. He knows, with absolute certainty, what is coming next. The reaction from the hyena sentinels is instantaneous and explosive. Their heads whip around, their ears pinpointing the source of the cry with unerring accuracy. They see him then, the shadowy figure of the baboon, a thief in the night, holding one of their precious young. A low growl rumbles from deep within the first mother's chest, a sound of pure, unadulterated fury. The second mother lets out a sharp staccato bark, a call to arms that slices through the night. The relative peace of the den is shattered, replaced by a rising tide of chaos and rage. From within the den and from the surrounding darkness comes an answering chorus. The other adults who were resting nearby are now awake and alert. The mothers rush from the den entrance, their teeth bared, their eyes wild with protective fury. The air is suddenly filled with the terrifying sounds of the clan mobilizing for battle, a cacophony of whoops, growls and barks. Kyle had gambled that he could be silent and swift, but he had underestimated the unbreakable bond between a mother and her young. Now, the full terrifying force of the hyena clan is about to be unleashed upon him. There is no time for thought, only for pure, unthinking instinct. The moment the first growl rips through the night, Kale is already moving. He turns and flees, his long legs pumping, his powerful arms propelling him across the open ground. He abandons all pretense of stealth. Survival is now a matter of pure speed. The pup, still clutched tightly in one arm, is a wriggling, crying burden, its weight seeming to double with every stride. Its ongoing cries serve as a living beacon, guiding the furious pursuit, ensuring that Kyle cannot simply melt back into the shadows from which he came. The hyenas are a terrifying sight in motion. They do not run with the elegant grace of a cheetah, but with a relentless, loping gait that devours the ground with deceptive speed. They are built for endurance, capable of maintaining a chase for miles. Their powerful jaws, designed for crushing bone, snap at the air, just inches behind Kale's heels. The sound is a nightmare symphony of guttural growls, furious whoops, and the heavy thud of their paws on the dry earth. They are not just chasing him, they are a wave of fury, a coordinated pack intent on retrieving their stolen pup and exacting a terrible price for the intrusion. Kyle's mind is a maelstrom of terror. He risks a glance over his shoulder, and his heart plummets. They are so close. He can see their eyes, glinting with rage in the faint starlight. He can smell their hot, fetid breath. He is running for his life, but he is running on open ground, the hyena's preferred territory. His only hope is to reach the trees, to find a vertical escape route where their terrestrial power will be nullified. The acacia tree where his troop sleeps seems a lifetime away, an impossible sanctuary on the distant horizon. Every muscle in his body screams with effort and fear. The chase is a frantic, desperate ballet of predator and prey. Kale zigzags, trying to throw off his pursuers, but they are too numerous and too smart. They work together, fanning out to cut off his escape routes, attempting to flank him and bring him down. One large female lunges, her jaws snapping shut, just a fraction of an inch from his trailing leg. Kyle yelps in terror and puts on a fresh burst of speed he didn't know he had. He is living on borrowed seconds, each moment a victory, but the end seems terrifyingly inevitable. He is one baboon against the righteous fury of an entire clan. Just ahead, a dark, jagged shape looms against the night sky. It is not the familiar acacia of his home, but a different kind of sanctuary. A tall, rocky outcrop, a small kopje rising abruptly from the flat savanna. It is his only chance. With the hyenas snapping at his heels, Kale diverts his course, his sights set on the rocks. This is a terrain where his natural agility and climbing prowess might give him the advantage he so desperately needs. The hyenas, for all their power on the ground, are not built for climbing. He pours the last of his reserves into one final desperate sprint for the base of the rocks. He reaches the copia and does not hesitate. He leaps, his powerful limbs finding purchase on the rough, weathered stone. He begins to scramble upwards, the pup still held awkwardly under one arm. The hyenas surge around the base of the rock formation, a furious, frustrated mob. They leap and snap, their claws scraping uselessly against the stone, just below his feet. Their whoops of pursuit turn to barks of sheer frustration and rage. They circle the kopje, their eyes fixed on him, their heads thrown back as they howl their fury at his escape. For the moment at least, he is out of reach of their deadly jaws. Kyle continues to climb until he finds a secure ledge, high above the frantic pack. His entire body is trembling, not just from exertion, but from the sheer, mind-numbing terror of the ordeal. His lungs burn and his limbs ache. He collapses onto the ledge, his back against the cold stone. The stolen pup still held fast. The pup has finally fallen silent, its small body trembling. Kyle looks down at the tiny creature, his prize, the reason for this entire catastrophic misadventure. The gnawing hunger in his belly is now completely forgotten, replaced by the cold, sharp reality of his situation. He is safe from the hyena's jaws, but he is trapped. The clan below shows no sign of leaving. They have laid siege to his rocky fortress, their glowing eyes a ring of patient, menacing sentinels. He cannot go down. He is alone, isolated, and has made a powerful, unforgiving enemy. He has won the chase, but he has lost so much more. He has exchanged the gnawing ache of hunger for the cold grip of isolation and the certainty of future conflict. He looks from the terrified pup in his arms to the furious clan below, and the full weight of his reckless decision settles upon him. As the first hint of dawn begins to streak the eastern sky with pale light, the stalemate continues. Kale remains perched on his rocky prison, and the hyena clan maintains its patient, unwavering vigil below. The night of terror has given way to a day of bleak uncertainty. The stolen pup, exhausted and frightened, lies limply in Kale's arms. It is no longer a potential meal. It is a burden, a symbol of a catastrophic miscalculation. The desperate gamble that was meant to ensure his survival has instead led him to this isolated, precarious impasse, caught between a furious enemy and an uncertain future. This single dramatic event reveals a fundamental truth of the wild. Every action has a consequence, and the drive to survive often forces creatures into making desperate, high-stakes choices. Kyle's hunger was real, his situation dire. From his perspective, the risk was necessary. But nature is not concerned with perspective. It operates on a brutal, unforgiving logic. In stealing the pup, he violated a sacred law of the savannah. He threatened the young of another powerful group. The clan's response was not personal, it was instinctual, a necessary and violent defense of their future. The wild is a constant, complex negotiation between risk and reward. For Kale, the potential reward of a meal was eclipsed by the devastating risk of confronting a unified, protective family. For the hyenas, the loss of even one pup is a significant blow to the clan's continuity, justifying any risk to retrieve it and punish the perpetrator. This drama, played out on a small, rocky stage, is a microcosm of the daily struggles faced by countless animals. Survival is not a given, it is earned, fought for, and sometimes paid for at an incredibly high price. As the sun climbs higher, illuminating the vast plains, the outcome remains unknown. Perhaps Kyle will eventually drop the pup, a desperate peace offering. Perhaps the hyena's patience will wane, and they will move on. Or perhaps this confrontation will end in a final, tragic conclusion. Whatever happens, the lesson is clear. Bold actions in the wild can lead to great rewards, but they can also lead to ruin. For Kale, the baboon who dared to rob a hyena's den, The desperate search for a single meal has cost him his safety, his freedom, and has left him utterly alone, facing the harsh, unforgiving consequences of his